Hello there and welcome back to another video about Android development. Today we are going to see a Kotlin feature that will help you create clean and concise code in your Android application. This feature is known as Kotlin extension function. So what are Kotlin extension function? From the documentation of Kotlin, it says Kotlin provides the ability to extend the class with a new functionality without having to inherit from the class or use a design pattern such as the decorator. So basically, extension functions are kind of an add-ons method to classes without modifying these classes. So we are extending the feature of this class with customized behavior that we need in our domain and business logic. So to show an example and to show the basic structure of extension functions, we have to use the word fun for function, then the class we want to add the behavior on, then simply the name of the class and the name of the function and the parameters. So for this class, for this extension function, we want to swap two numbers in this list. Okay, so how we do that? Well, this is the code for it, and this keyword is referring to the class itself. So whenever you want to use the class itself, use this. Okay, so here is an example of extension function. We will show another example to start with a simple extension function to a string. Let's go to Android Studio. Here I have a fresh Android project. We will try to create our first extension function. So let's have an example. First, let's say we want to add a function without extension, okay? Without doing extension function. Let's say we want to have a function that will check if a string is digit only, okay? So basically we will create a function like this, is digit only, and this function will return a boolean like that, and it will receive string as parameter. Okay, great. So how you can check if string contain only digits? Okay, so let's add s here. Great. So basically we will loop over that string for each character and string. Simply you would check if character is digit. Okay, if it is digit, if it is not a digit, we will simply return false. And if the loop continue without any problem, then we should return true because it contain only digits. Okay, so this is the function. If you want to use that function in your Android project or you're in Java classes, you simply need to have string hello world and call is digit only and pass it that string. Okay, this is the normal function. This is the normal way we do this type of utility functions. Now we want to write this function as an extension function. Okay, so the first thing is to have the keyword fun, then the class we want to extend. So we have to put string. Okay, so we will name the function is digit only. I will omit the s just for error checking. Okay, now this string we should not pass any string here because it is here. Okay, we'll add the method return boolean, and we'll apply basically the same code. The only difference in the code is in the string, from where we get the string. So we are getting it from this. Well, this will refer the string in the context. Okay, so now we can change this call hello world to like that, is digit only. Okay, he will use this function. Okay, so basically this is extension function. And now what you can do with this extension function, you can move them to a separate file. Let's name them, you can name them string extensions. You can say name that file, copy that function and put it here. And now you can call it from anywhere, of course with some visibility for the module only. Great. Now with this function, you can have many functions for string only. You can have extension function for views, for anything you want. We will share a lot of extension function in this video, but first I need to see if this function is working or not. What you can do here, you can create an unit test to test if the string functions are working correctly or not. So basically I can use this one. I will change this, assert true that hello world is digit only. No, it's not digit only, so we must assert false. Okay, and for this one, we should assert true. Basically, this is unit testing with JUnit. We will do video about it in future lessons, inshallah. Let's run this test. Hopefully it will work. Exactly, it is working correctly. Basically, this test for is digit only test. Okay, so this is the benefit of separating your code into smaller functions like this with the extension function. You can test this function separately and locally with your local Android test. Now we will see the extension function I always use in my Android project. I will share this extension function in the description below, so you will have to copy everything from here. Great. I will show you what all these functions. So basically, if you can see, the first function is called visible and it's applied to view. And what it's doing is to change the visibility to visible. So you can grab any view in your activity or your fragment and apply it with visible, and it will do this behavior. It will make the view visible. Okay, you can test that. It is pretty simple. I'm not using binding adapter, so I will just search for the view itself. I have a button id.button, and basically the previous way we used to do dot visibility equal view dot visible. Okay, now we can change all of that and make only visible. Okay, this is what I meant by concise code. Great. Next, we will see another extension function. It's called gone, which is the same thing. It is changing the visibility to gone. Visible, the same. Great. Now there is this function that applies to context. Okay, so this function will show a toast with a small length and this one with a long length. Okay, so we can try it. You can go just when clicking on this function, when clicking on this button, let's append set on click listener. Great, and we should do show small length toast. Hello world. Can even run this application to check if it's working or not. So this function is eliminating a lot of boilerplate code. You can eliminate all this code. Okay, and this is referring to the context. Okay, so our application is working. If I click to hello world, it will show me hello world. Great, it is working correctly. Now, another extension function I'm using here, I'm using the has permission. So this is a great extension function to see if your application has the permission for something, like for the internet or for to access the location. We used to do all this. Now you can change it for has permission only. And as you can see, this function is applied to activity only. You can make it applied also to fragment by copying and changing activity to fragment. Okay, but for the fragment it doesn't have this as the context, so we'll change to require context because the fragment has this method. Okay, and now you can go to your activity and check has permission of, let's say, manifest dot permission dot, I don't know, to access the Wi-Fi state, for example. And you can append that with an if. So if it has permission, do something, otherwise do something else. Okay, so this is simple. Great. Another function is valid email or is valid password, and these are applied to strings. So basically we are checking if this is not empty, and patterns, this is called regular expression. So we're matching expression of an email, because an email has some sort of letters and characters with an @ sign, and letters, characters, dot, and an @ sign also. Okay, so this is kind of complicated. Let's go back. You can have also an extension function to a password. Well, this will depend on the business rule. I'm checking only if this password is not empty and its length is bigger than 8 and it contains some digits. Okay, great. Another function that we can use also to dates. Okay, sometimes we want to format string to dates and vice versa. Okay, so here are the two functions. Let's say I have something like that, 19/08/2020, for example. I can do that to date and just give it the format. Okay, so basically it is dd month and YYY. This is the format of my date. Okay, you can have multiple format, but this function will return a date. Okay. Next on, if string contain digits, if the string contain digit, I'm using it here. It is a good function also. A great another function is the vibrate function. So sometimes when you want to vibrate the phone, you have to do all of that. You must have system service of vibration. Then you must check whether you are on Android above O or below it, and then you use the vibrate function. Okay, so basically now you can go just like that, vibrate for 2 seconds, and boom, you are vibrating. This is power. Okay, this is power. Great. Another function that we want to check, the last function, is the SHA-1. For example, you can have SHA-1, you can have MD5, SHA-256, and so on. So basically this function will hash your string into SHA-1 format. So you can go simply like that, hello world dot SHA-1. Let me see, SHA-1, and we will print it. Let's try to print it first. I don't know what will happen. I don't know the SHA-1 of hello world, and here is the SHA-1 of hello world. Simple as that. And the last method, let me check the last method. Final method is on throttled click, which basically will prevent the user from doing multiple click rapidly. Okay, so basically you are allowing a window of 1500 milliseconds. You can choose it, you can work with it like that. I'm pressing just that. Okay, so now let me show you an example first. Let me turn it to 500 milliseconds, which means 5 seconds. And if I run the application, the first click will go, and now I can't click the button until 5 seconds. Now I can click it and it will work. Okay, so this will prevent double click and rapid click from the users. Okay, I will turn it back, and these are the functions that I wanted to share with you in this class. Lastly, I want to show you a great repository by Funky Muse. It contains a lot of Kotlin extension function in different domains. So basically we'll have to check. I will share the link. This is how you can use it and implement it in your Android application or just your Android project. And the beauty of that is you can choose only the one you like to use. So for example, you can use the Glide, which is an image loading library. I will check only the code. You can also check the code, copy the extension function, and use it. So if you want to load an image in an app compact image view with Glide, you can use that extension function. Okay, simple as that. He overloaded this method with a lot of app compact, error, hypercompact image view and only image view. This is a great repository to check and get inspiration from. Okay, there is for glide, there is for many things. There's for live data, for networking, for numbers, permission. Let's check that. For permissions, permission extension. Let's see. He has asked for multiple permission, with an overload. This is a great repository to check. Okay, so I hope you find this extension useful and that they helped you write clearer and shorter code. You can adapt them into your needs and include them into your project. So happy coding. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. If you learned something, please leave a comment or subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much and see you in the next videos.